All right, guys, we are live, and I have to do this setting thing because now Facebook is being an asshole about letting me post things and letting it be public. Every single time I do something now, I have to actually request that it goes public. Otherwise, it just shows to my friends or only to me. So that's really not fun. But so while we are here, while we're waiting to get this set up, I would love to hear where everybody is from and where you guys are coming from and living. And I will just be like 2 seconds. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
I am well. It's been a very, very busy couple days for both of us, all of us.
Just wait. It is about to get a lot busier.
Yeah. I think I fixed it. Can you share it on your Facebook?
Yeah, let me see.
That way everyone can see it. And I think you can retweet too. If everybody on here could please retweet and also share, that would be super great. That way we have maximum people watching at the same time. We're going to have a lot of things to share today. It's going to be pretty cool. And we got New York, we got Michigan, we got South Carolina. That's cool. We got Minnesota again. There's Carrie's here. Kay, Lisa, Michigan, Amanda, South Carolina. All right.
South Carolina in there, huh?
Yes. So a couple things. I interviewed Charlie earlier, and of course we talked about you because you blew his mind last night or this morning, whatever time it was 2:00 in the morning for you. You did a great job on the show. I did talk to him about what you and I talked about as far as getting him on a panel for a show. And he says, yes, absolutely. 100%. So we have him and we have James Redfield, who's on board, and I have a few others that I'll put some feelers out that I don't want to spoil the surprise, but
it's going to be big.
It is.
I mean, when you think about it, it's like, and we just came up with it. Just
I know. We were talking about all the people that we wanted to have on the show. Because by the way, we're doing a weekly. This is going to be 7:00 on Thursdays every week now. So we were talking about different people that we might want to bring in and just like bring a little spice to things. But there were so many on our list that we were like, we should just have them all at the same time. And then Jason came up with this great idea to do it around December. So we don't charge obviously for any of this, but he is so smart and just so pure and loving and kind and always thinks about everybody else. So he came up with a way to do donations so we can support families in need during Christmas, do some sort of fundraising for vets or children or food
and you just do it through super chats.
Yeah.
They donate through super chat and then we just donate to people in need because with this whole BS pandemic crap, it's just, there I am. But, with all that going on, because we know the truth. We know exactly what they did now. We know where they're going now, what's going to happen. I'm just telling you, you do not want to be anywhere near DC right now.
Ooh.
I would definitely vacate there because when Ezra Cohen-Watnick went up to that podium and gave that speech.
Oh, this morning. Yes. Talk about it.
I mean, it was so just, I was like, man, this sounds presidential. I mean, he really did. Well, who's to say that he's not? Right? Remember, we're biologically immortal entities. Yeah. We have the documents. They let them loose. They weren't supposed to, but oh well. And that's the thing. That's the whole purpose of the Human Genome Project. Yeah. Because they were looking for the 5 genetic markers so that they would be able to come too. Well, all throughout time, it seems, time's just it's a big lie too. But am I going in and out, or am I still on here for you? Or?
Yeah, you're great for me.
Okay, that's good. Because I mean, on my end, it looks like it's going in and out. But if it's good on your end, we're gonna roll with it.
Awesome.
And the thing is, like, he started talking about like civilians and special forces, like Kennedy dreamt of. And I'm like, if people knew what the special forces were created by when Kennedy created the special forces, because he created like the Delta Force, Navy SEALs, all that. He created them to teach us how to overthrow a tyrannical government.
Yep.
Like this.
And it's completely gone a different direction.
Yeah, it did. And the thing is, we were getting ready to lose everything, because if America fell, everything fell. That's why we were the last domino. I mean, we could not lose. That's why,
well, and two, this is why Trump did an executive order about, I believe it was executive order. I have to go back and look, but I remember a big spread about him talking about making sure the Constitution was talked about in children's schools again, because it's completely changed just the blanket of America for us to not really totally have a grasp of it, even as adults. There's, these might be the people on the streets of really not understanding. But the key is, I think a lot more people are going and looking into it because of that. And they're understanding that all of this is just a setup, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That executive order right there, that is one of the biggest executive orders to be dropped.
Yep.
Because when people don't realize what is in that executive order, that is NESARA.
That was that the 3rd of November? When was that?
The 2nd of November.
The second.
That's 11-2. Then, right, 11-3 is the start. 11-4 actionable, right? Now, if you look at the dates, you go 11-3, right? Now, when we had that countdowns, right? And we went through like 14, and it was all Tuesdays, right? And what was it? Like, my birthday was on Tuesday. It was like August 25th. It was like the 10th week out. And then my mom and nephew's birthday was on week 1 Delta, which is November 27th. And then you had 11-3. Well, then, okay, the start, right? Now what's our Delta? It's 2, right? Because the whole time travel. Because if you're traveling in a linear form of time, it's 4. But we're bouncing between time scales, right? So it's a 2. So then you add 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
You come up with 11-17, right? Now you institute the D5, 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Because they talk about 10 days of darkness. What if the 10 days of darkness was split up between 2 weeks, right?
So,
so what they did was the 22nd.
Oh, wait, 17, 18, 19. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
What happened on 11/22/63 or 62/63? That's when they shot Kennedy, right?
Oh, yeah.
What is going to destroy the Fed? The gold, right? What's the next day? It's the 23rd. What would bring pain? What was brought over on the JFK aircraft carriers? The gold, the Tolano gold certificate, the physical gold. That's
interesting.
I'm telling you, it's so mathematically impossible, and they've built this. I mean, we're in a simulation of a video game that we've been different entities before, but we've maintained our same good light, our because everything's quantum, because we have a quantum machine for a brain and everything, but there's even more to that, even in quantum, because this is where the dates and everything gets fun. So
hey, before you keep going,
all right,
they're saying that your sound needs to go a little bit louder. I don't know if you could put the mic up closer, or if you have there you go.
All right, how's that?
Yes. So I had Charlie on earlier, and I didn't get to see your entire show. I saw half of it, and I would like to get back, but I've been doing interviews back to back. And he brought up something to me that maybe you already got, and I was just like, but he was saying that he really believes that he stepped down during that time, November 2nd, like the Nasara Jasara stuff, because of how they changed President Trump on his Facebook to candidate, which at the time, it really pissed me off when I saw that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so mad because who did that? But maybe it wasn't big tech. Maybe it was their like way to tell us that he stepped down.
Because the thing is that who is Ezra Cohen Watnick? Remember, that's Mike Flynn's protege. I mean, that's Mike Flynn's like right hand man.
He's the big guy.
Yeah, no, he's a young guy. I mean, he's like in his
30s. He is young. He is young, but he's powerful.
The thing is, when you look at him, like there was this picture went around. It was actually on somebody sent it on the Twitter, posted it, and they talked about JFK's grandchildren seeing timber, right? Mm-hmm. And they had this picture of a guy with a beard, right? It was Ezra Cohen Watnick.
No way.
Yes.
No way. You in the video, you mean?
The thing is that remember, we just changed vehicles. That's it. So
wow.
I mean, is he here? Yes. Well, everybody's still here. We're all still here. We're just in different vehicles. But he brought out the change that we needed to go after the tyrannical government. So he truly is because it's all about twins, I mean,
That's
this goes all the way back. I mean, it goes so far back, it's not even funny. I mean, this whole game.
That's true. The whole twin thing, you never know. And Max Spears, you've heard me talk about Max a lot, but for those of you who haven't ever looked into Max, that's a whole show. But he has said that everyone's been here. He did an interview in 2012. He's like, everyone's here. There isn't anything else. It's like everyone's here for the end. And we thought we were going to, have this ship because there was no more calendar after 2012. But here we are. Something happened and we shifted. We got an extension or more time to do the things. But so if that is him stepping down, then that would be 120 days from then, correct?
Well, the thing is that the 120 days, so that would be 11/3, right? Now, at 120 days, it takes you to 3/3, right? What happened on March 3rd, 1933? They dedicated Mount Rushmore.
Right.
There was supposed to be another person on Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Susan B. Anthony. But they ran out of money. So what they did was, what did Trump do? On the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment for the women's right to vote, he pardoned Susan B. Anthony. I mean, these guys are all like mega trolls. I mean, they are just like going right at their throats.
Wow.
I mean, this is such. I mean, this is just. I mean, these guys are good. I mean,
so what? One of the things that okay, so it's never a coincidence. I mean, it's never just an accident that the people that I bring all have different pieces of information. So when Charlie was talking about the time of what things could really shift, he kept giving us, by the third week of December. And then my next guest was actually Chris Carter, who's talking about the stars and the planetary everything. And I specifically had him on to talk about December 21st, not knowing that Charlie was even going to talk about it. And so he gave a lot more meat and credit to it. But basically he was saying the 21st is the shortest and the darkest day, with winter solstice. But that is a celebration of the end of the dark and the light coming. And I was like, oh my God, this goes right with what we're talking about. If the numbers really work and this is really it, this is like huge.
And the thing is, with the moon, where it is.
The moon. Oh no, I was saying the moon.
Oh no,
the satellite. Oh, is it?
No, it's okay now. The moon right now, I mean, it's in the southern sky. It's never been there. I mean, this is it. I mean, the whole sky event, and now the moon's in. I mean,
like
I'm telling. I really do believe, because a lot of these people couldn't be killed. These evil entities. But remember, what were we created for in the beginning? To be slaves for the gold. Well, we're not slaves anymore, but they still need slaves. So why don't we just give the Anunnaki back all these humanoid slave-loving people, and there you go. You can have all them. You take them off our hands. Then the thing is that it doesn't play on our karmic law for killing them. It actually promotes it because we're helping them. I mean, it's all about love and light, right? It's like, hey, we're going to give you some help, and we're just going to go back here and do some good stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it all makes sense. It all does. I mean,
someone's asking, do you think they're going to finish Mount Rushmore now?
What's that?
Do you think they're going to? Someone's asking, do you think they're going to finish Mount Rushmore now?
I mean, it depends on who the fifth person is going to be. I mean, what if D5 is Donald Trump?
I was just going to say that. I was like, what if it's this guy back here?
And the thing is,
that would be so cool. The last president. The last president.
And the thing is that who would say no?
Right.
There is, and it's just like this whole, people are worried about the whole military around the vaccines, everything. It's like, guys, you're missing their coding in this, right? The military isn't running out vaccines. The military is running out the blockchain voting. That's why every American has to do it, has to take it. Every legal American has to vote. Everybody's voice must be heard. There can't be anybody that doesn't vote or anything like that. Everybody has to have a piece in this. If you don't, then you got to go. But everybody does because it's that big. It's like all you have to do is just hit a button. That's it. Because with Trump, with the hole in the syrup, he has to step down, and the military takes over the election. Right? Right there is your blockchain electronic voting system and method patent that was published on April 20th, 2017. The best part about that is April 20th. Two funny things about that date. Number one, it's Hitler's birthday. So that's a dig right at Obama, that's a dig right at Merkel, and that's a dig at Obama's mama. Because Obama is Hitler's grandson. Next up, we have in that 171-page document, they talk about like the whole vaccines being bioweapons, and this was back in 2009. And they had the latest pandemic time estimates based on Los Alamos flu simulation, right, by Alexander S. Jones. They used the baseline U.S. 0 day of April 20th, 2009.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yes. And the thing is that this very deal, this Monday, April 20th, we had an April 20th. That was a Monday this year. Funny. Guess what was dropped this year? COVID. See? And it actually, it even says like, who declares phase 6 pandemic by day 53, aka by Friday, June 12th. 6/12/18, 666. Yeah, they were going to take us over. They were. That's why that's why I was doing this. But nobody's going to take a vaccine because what Trump's going to do is, yeah, he let all these people create vaccines, but remember, he's like warp speed. Thing is like, remember C before D, right?
C before D.
You have to always go in order.
Yeah.
So when you have warp speed, it will go speed warp because S comes before W. Now S is a 19, right? And your W is a 22.
Yep.
And the thing is like the sheer magnitude of what they did with this whole I got some, just had it. But with the whole 1922, it's all based off the 11s, right?
Right.
And what they've done is they've taken a lot of our like the numbers and everything, and they've like used them against us. They've made like good numbers bad, bad numbers good. Well, what Trump has in order is he's going to hang the whole Democratic Party, this whole entire voting system, and Big Pharma at the same time, just through the vaccines. Because now this is where everybody comes into play. Okay, you've got General Flynn, you've got Sidney Powell,
Yeah.
you've got Emmett Sullivan, the judge,
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, like you see Rudy Giuliani up there now, and Sidney Powell's with him, right?
Yep.
So
Did you watch?
I watched some of it. I
It
did
was
watch.
hilarious.
Oh,
Oh my God. And they were pooping in their pants. I know, like, just to say that Dominion, like, up and just left their offices, all the executives just poop in the middle of the night, they're gone. And she's like, yeah, they're just missing. But did you see the part when someone asked a weird question to Giuliani and then he's like, and who are you with? And they're like, CNN. And he just laughs. Like, okay, but sorry. That was just hilarious. I watched it like 3 times over and over.
I've got to watch it. I mean,
It's,
I heard that he did something at somebody sent it to me that he did something at 1 hour 10 minutes, and he mentioned the FBI, and he threw an Illuminati hand side down and the screen went black.
no, I missed it. I didn't get. I just saw a little Twitter. I let a little kind of Twitter, like a snippet.
Yeah, we'll have to check on that because I mean they do this stuff all the time. I mean they code it all throughout there. So what they've effectively done is, you know, they think the military is going to run out vaccines. The military can't run out vaccines. They declared it unconstitutional. Emmett G. Sullivan did in a 34-page decision.
Yep.
34. I mean, that's a 7 right there.
Yep.
It's like, and you think about it, it's like, does anybody really know why they were getting, you know, he was getting the runaround and everything? You know, they were just like, they're all dogging Emmett G. Sullivan. I'm like, well, he's in our book. I mean, that's where we got his name from. Was that big 171 page? The you know,
One of the few names in there. Yeah.
Oh no, this is loaded with names that they were all going to kill us. I mean, like Baxter International. I mean, they have all the corporations and all the bioweapons and all the vaccines. How they use swine flu, avian flu. I mean, they were about to end us, and we had to fight for our lives. That's it. And that wasn't even the worst. The worst was going to be the Black Death. That was the plague from China. It wasn't China, it was California.
Because
remember when those Black Hawk? Yeah, because the thing is that when you see C_A, the underscore is a straight line. As long as it starts with C, ends with A, you have as many words you want, letters you want. California starts with a C, ends with an A. China does. CIA does. I mean, man, see, I don't even want to talk about them right now. I'm so pissed at that. But the CIA is just, I mean, I cannot wait till they're just done. I mean, they're done now. But it's like, just what they were here for. I mean, just, ugh. We'll get into that another day. I don't like talking about kids.
Well, they're deconstructing. It might get a little messy before everything clears out, but I see special forces going back to the origins that JFK had set it up for in the first place. And really just either they're just going to demolish everything and start a brand new thing, or they're just going to have to figure out how to rebuild it. But I would think it would be easier to tear the whole thing apart like a house, just demolish it and start over than to try to fix it.
You know what? Like you said, you know, they're going to go in this weekend, just level the place. Because the thing is, Capitoline Hill, it's all Roman. It's all Greco-Roman. I mean, it's all that filth. It's a swamp. Capitoline Hill was built on a swamp. Then you have Capitol Hill, the swamp. I mean, you need a solid foundation. That's why they came here in the first place. You know, I mean, they wanted the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. I mean, there's 2 of the greatest documents ever written. I mean, you just got to read them. That's all. But the thing, I mean, people just get complacent and they just, you know, well, if that's just what they want us to do is wear masks, like, no, absolutely not. That's a violation. It's a clear violation of our, you know, our rights of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. You guys are the ones that want to put this shit in the air. You're the ones who want to poison us. You're violating our rights.
Yeah.
Every chance you get. And it's all I mean, you got the same crew of characters. I mean, just
talk to them about the New York ball
Oh yeah.
because
Well,
he was saying this off camera. I think like 3 days ago or something. I don't remember days anymore. But oh my God, New York and the ball. Please talk about
okay,
it.
so I'll go into this much deeper and with diagrams on it next week, but there was a huge false flag in the drops that I'm not sure if anybody caught. And it had to do with the New York City ball, the ball they drop at New Year's Eve. So if you notice what they did with the ball, the 2019, 2020, it had a light switch on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says China Chongqing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they talk about we had the ball the whole time and all this, if you look at the ball, it's all triangles. They're Waterford crystals, right?
They're triangles.
Yeah, it's a bunch of triangles that's built into a ball. So remember, they have the ball like explodes. It says Council of Foreign Relations between it. So it shows that they were in on it as well. So what they had planned, because when you see the picture of it, it's a turquoise color, right?
Right.
And the light switch is on. The problem with that is that there was a, the chemist, whatever, named Florian Cross from the University of Marburg in Germany, right? What they did is they combined uranium with hydrogen cyanide, and it created this like turquoise silica of a dust. And when it's released in the airborne released, it's a killer. What they were going to do is they were going to have the ball break, the sky is falling event, have it dispersed all over New York City, have everybody breathe this in, and have a huge, like another 9/11, another mass smut film, you know? But what they do, there's one thing that neutralizes it. Water. Make it rain. Remember how hard it rained on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, it was bad.
It poured. Why? They knew. It poured everywhere. They wanted to make sure that, guess what? We had all our bases covered. Everything's neutralized. So, I mean, it's great because we have the whole formula. I mean, it's long. But yeah, because what they were doing too is with the hydrogen cyanide is they were putting that into the e-cig cartridges, which was giving people popcorn lung. That was FEMA.
What? Oh.
Yeah, that was the hydrogen cyanide. FEMA bought that. Who's FEMA under? Department of Homeland Security. When did Department of Homeland Security create? Right after 9/11. Who did 9/11? We did.
Yeah, and just the whole thing too. It's always New York. You know,
Yeah.
the 9/11 thing in New York, and then this ball situation. Holy moly!
Because it's the 5-5 are the two sets of 5 crime families in New York and Chicago. Guess who had their hands in the New York one? Yeah.
I have a feeling it starts with a C.
No. You would know him better as DJT.
No! I thought you meant on the dark side.
Oh no. What he did though, because remember, everybody had a part to play, and as long as you didn't cross that red line, which is anything with children, that's it. That's the red line right there. Then it's forgivable, because the thing is that there's a lot of people that had to do bad things in order for this to go off because of the heavy blackmail.
Yeah.
But as long as you didn't do anything with children, you know, because that essentially that's an energy killer. I mean, that's not acceptable. But I mean, like you see, like, you know, people talk about like Mueller, Rosenstein, Comey, and all them. But the thing is, they didn't do anything with kids. Like AOC +3. Who are the +3? Rosenstein, Mueller, Comey. But remember when they put Comey and they put the Y in a kill box, and they put a higher power or a higher what was the name of his book? Damn it.
Who's the guy you're talking about?
Comey.
Oh, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
A higher loyalty. That was the name of it.
Yes.
The thing is that what's the Y in a kill box? That's Yersinia pestis. That is the Black Plague. That's the demonic plague. And how are they going to do that? Remember when they did all that stuff with the minks over in Denmark and Sweden and everything? They were killing all these minks.
No.
That's what they were going to, it was like I think a year ago or something, but it's easily transferred through fleas because
Oh,
it's a bacteria that gets in a flea and the flea can't digest, right? So the flea bites and it vomits. But what it does, it passes on the plague, the black plague. And the thing is, like, from 2 to 6 days, you're dead. That's where the whole plague doctors came in. The ones with the long snouts, with the long leather robes, wear a mask.
yeah.
There we go. And what they would do is they would go, town to town and record the dead and do all this just crazy stuff. Like they would cover people with mercury and put them in the oven and
Wow.
try to think that like they're trying to learn something, but all they're doing is just expediting death. That's what they were going to unleash on us. That's the pneumonic plague, because the case fatality rate for that is 100%. The problem with whole, COVID and SARS and all that, it was a 0.04% case fatality rate for COVID.
I got something to say about that. Think about it. Okay, so I was talking about this earlier with Charlie. So the survival rate, like you said, is, I don't know, it's like 99.9% or something.
Yeah.
But so Pfizer came out a couple of days ago, said they had a vaccine that was going to have a 90% survival rate. Of course, Fauci was also saying, but you may have to get a few, and you're also going to have to wear a mask. So before, it was like, it's going to be 2 weeks, and then it's going to be 4 weeks, and it's going to be 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever. They keep on delaying it. And then someone came up with the bright idea of lockdown until the vaccination. Well, okay, so now they're getting this miraculous vaccination, which he also talks about therapeutics, and he also says that it's not going to be mandatory, and we know that this is code, and that it's against the law to do mandatory vaccinations, and he isn't very pro vaccinations anyway because of his son and because of he knows what's in them. But anyway, side note, they're saying even if you have the vaccination, you still have to wear a mask. So it's like, okay, are we going anywhere? No. Anyway, so 90%, they said 90% survival rate with the vaccination, with the vaccine. And then so the next day Maduro comes up and says they have a 95%. And within like a few hours, Pfizer changes it up and comes out with a new announcement. Oh, we were wrong. It's actually 95%, or it's like 94.5. I think I'm just rolling it up. But I thought it was funny. And my husband brought this up. He was like, okay, so let's be honest here. Let's just do the math. You got a 99.9% of survival with doing absolutely nothing, not a thing. You just live, right? But if you do the vaccination, the vaccine, then you're basically, they're telling you that it will kill you. It's going to kill 5% of whoever. So it's insane that they can put this out and they don't think that anyone's catching it. Like, meaning seeing what they're seeing is like not just catching it, but like getting the truth, not like seeing where they're putting this out and like doesn't make any sense. There's no logic.
Well, the thing is let's just call it a spade a spade. With technologies, there are a lot of Americans that are walking around like complete zombie idiots. It's like, why are you wearing a mask? Because I said, it's like, that's compliance. I'm like, no, you need to question why you have to wear a mask. Because guess what? We're going to ask why. Because right here, remember when Trump would always talk about like, well, he said, it's H1N1, but remember he said N1H1. Because here we go. Data has become available from the case studies in California from H1N1 hospitalizations. 15 out of 25 patients have lung infiltrates. Almost half have vomiting. This is somewhat disturbing. The best predictive symptoms based on this data are, number 1, fever, 97%. Now, what that is 16, that's 7. If you add the 9 plus 7, that's 16. 1 plus 6, 7. Cough, 77%. 7. 3, lung infiltrates. That's 60%. 4, vomiting, 46%. 5, shortness of breath, 43%. 7. And it says 3 and 4 are unusual for influenza. Remember when, I mean, he talked about the PPP and he laid out all these service jobs and all this. The thing is that the third and fourth one that he listed, they didn't match up numerically with the
It's all
seven.
the sevens.
And the thing is, I mean, that's how they've been doing. It's insane. It has to be a sequence. It's law and order. There has to be an order to it.
So why are they not doing the sequence? Just to throw us off or to make it not be logical at all? Like just to show it on purpose? Like, see how crazy we are?
Well, they're teaching us how to learn again, because we've been indoctrinated our whole lives, you know. But the thing is that a lot of people, you know, they lost that creativity, that imagination, that, you know, thinking outside the box, the dodecahedron. You know, it's like coming up with stuff on the flight. They've lost that because they've had everything handed to them and said, this is how it is. It's like, okay, you know, just keep on doing this. Like, no, it's like, why don't you just do that? Why don't you just do this? I mean, just always be thinking, you know, there's always a way out of something. There's always a way to make things better. You know, just keep it simple, you know?
Yeah, I think the whole think outside the box has taken so many new levels for me as far as television and internet and commercials and just going beyond what everyone keeps programming. But yeah, it is insane. I wanted you to talk about covfefe. Am I saying it right?
Covfefe?
COVFE. When Trump how do you say it?
Covfefe.
That he texted that out. I know you know the date. I choose to remember what the date was, and everyone like made fun of him because they were like, "Oh, he can't spell. He meant to say coffee. He didn't do it right." La la la. But you have different ideas here. Explain.
It's not an idea. It's an ancient Babylonian text, and what it is it means in the end we win. But it also in ancient Arabic and modern Arabic, it's that they're fighting against the ancient fallen ones and the fallen ones, right? In ancient Arabic, it's the ancient fallen ones. I mean, I think people would pretty much lose their minds who we're battling right now. I mean, it's crazy because remember, the truth is always in the movies, right?
Right.
So on YouTube today, this morning, they put up these movies that are coming out like 2021 and all that. The first movie that comes up, I'm like, no. I'm like, it's just, I mean, it's all these like massive demonic bosses. I'm like, they're putting it all in the movies. I mean, and you could see the storylines and all that. And every movie that they put in there, it's like they talked about these people that didn't want to, you know, go past this wall and everything. I'm like, Antarctica? I'm like, they're just like, they're putting everything right out there for us to see. It's like, ooh, this is going to get good. Because, you know, when people realize that they've been lied to their whole existence, but it's all about being the better person and being the light. That's why we're the bridge. I mean, it's a bridge 1 and bridge 2. We are a part of the governance and the technical teams.
Yep.
That's how they know who Ezra Cohen Watnick is.
Yep.
Right? Because we're all coded. Our DNA is a code.
Yep. Everything.
And also we're in a simulation. We're in Deus Ex, which is DEUSEX, which is D5. Elon Musk came out and tweeted that a while back. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's a video game, right?
Oh.
It's everything that's going on right now about releasing a global pandemic, this and that. It had all the Illuminati, all the secret societies. I'm like, are these guys really telling us the simulation we're actually in? I mean, is this how deep we're going? I mean, who's Elon Musk? I mean, it's all based off those 98 scientists that went to Venezuela. Mm-hmm. That's the original Q. Mm-hmm. There's just 17. I mean, this is the sheer size of this battle that's going on. Remember, the silent war continues because they're battling all the realms. You know, it's like 40,000 feet V versus 40,000 feet V classified. Well, yeah, they're 40,000 feet underground. Those are Shamaric tunnels, the tunnel system. Those are the tunnel systems under the U.S. military domes. Right. Those are the evil, evil ones. And that's why everybody's been having earthquakes and everything because you're using tactical nukes to crush them all.
Yeah.
You got to bring them all down. You got to start a good foundation. You got to knock everything out. Now they did that.
Well, go finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
I was gonna say that you were going back to the simulation and the whole hologram and the game. They were betting on us. I mean, they have our certificates. I sent you something earlier about the certificates thing. I don't know if you got it, and then I'll have to find it. But I mean, we're owned.
Well, not anymore. I mean, the C'est La Vie Trust with 1666. We're sovereign beings. That's what we're fighting for, our sovereignty.
We are.
But the thing is that with Russell J. Gould, and by him getting our American flag back.
Yes, explain that.
Well, that's all Operation Education Task Force Sheepdog. And that was written on November 11th, 2016. I checked to Google on that because that's 11/11. And the thing is that they were going to steal our flag. Britain, that was the whole the 2000 election when they abandoned Washington, D.C. They went to Florida for the whole Chang and Chad stuff. Well, if our flag was left abandoned for a certain amount of days, I think it was 18 days, England was going to come and take us over. But that's when Russell J. Gould and David Wynn Miller actually wrote the whole syntax, the whole new language for shipping and everything, and they produced it. They got our flag back, and then now they're pretty much, he's top dog of the world, and he's a part, and with a goatee, and he looks just like Ingersoll Lockwood, the one that wrote the Baron Trump books. I mean,
he does.
It's
the last president,
and it's like we've all been a part of this. I mean, nobody can say that like one person's better. No, we're all equal in this. We're all doing this together because, in some realms, like, in other lifetimes, more people pulled more. And it's like, we're all just doing our fair share. That's it. So as long as everybody understands and learns that, we cannot let this happen again, we're all good. I mean, we just had to get together and do it.
Yes. Talk about the birth certificate, though, if you don't mind.
Well, this goes all the way back to the Vatican, and because, and this brings in the whole, how many people were murdered in the hospitals for this whole quote unquote virus. If you notice how many people died in like New York City and the whole nursing home deal, well, if we die, because what happens is when we're born, they cut the cord, right? Not supposed to happen, right? The placenta is a part of us. So what you've done is you've abandoned us at a hospital. They do it all through their verbiage, right? They've abandoned ship, right? It's all about shipping and water and everything because you're an amniotic fluid. That's the water, right? Because everything's water. Water holds knowledge. Water always retains knowledge as well. Because you have crystals that are frozen energy, but water actually holds knowledge. Yep. It actually is like the greatest like supercomputer. It's like it has all the wealth of everything. So
that's why Tesla used them.
Yep. That's why when they kill the whales and dolphins and all that, it's like, man, they're the ones that have all the knowledge with us. So don't want to do that. But going back to the birth certificate, so what it does is that when they cut the cord and basically abandon ship, it makes the father the Pope. Now, we become the commodity. We become the traded commodity on the NASDAQ in New York Stock Exchange, right? But when we die, right, when the whole, like, when this cycle's over, if we die in a hospital or a nursing home, they get $1 million for the cancellation of that birth certificate. So now look at this from a bigger scale. What about all those nursing homes in New York State? What were they doing up there?
Killing them.
I mean, exactly. But
I literally had a patient of mine who was up there. It was terrible. They starved her for 5 days.
But the thing is that if you notice, President Trump hasn't really like been all over that, there's a reason. They're all coming back. I mean, yeah, we had to learn the hard way. I mean, someone's learned really hard. But the thing is that they're coming back. They're our mentors for our next level, which is fourth dimension, fourth density.
Well, and you even talked about them going back to the game and the birth certificates, but you also talked about them betting on us, and specifically with 9/11, but just for anything, because it's just a big joke, just like the hunting in the forest, and how many people would die or how many people would jump off. I mean, this was on Hillary's laptop, amongst other things.
Those were all on our servers and everything. I mean, she was running the times and everything. I mean, they were running all the betting. That was all through the Federal Bridge Certificate Authority Network. That's one of the bridges as well. And they created that under, it was 1996 they created that. And one of the main financiers was Wilbur Ross.
Wow.
Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. But Trump had to, I mean, he got the loan from him back in the 80s. Then this guy went way dirty. So he brought him on as, on his committee, as what is he? For Commerce, the Secretary of Commerce. And the thing is like, you've got the dummy. The real one, you have these people locked away, frozen away, wherever. But after 9/11, what happened? The military intelligence got, everything got open to the military intelligence as well. They got to see all the black budget and all the black ops that they were doing. They got a hold of the cloning and droning. Because the thing is, you have clones and drones.
Yeah.
That's why, like, in the Secret Service, they said that it's a no drone zone for July 3rd for Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. It was a clock. If you look at it, it's a clock. Yeah, Mount Rushmore, it was just a little bit above center. And then they had a line, which was going to like the 58-second mark. And then at the 10-minute mark, there's Keystone, South Dakota, right?
Yep.
But then if you mirror it, it goes back to 28 seconds, right? That would make 30 seconds. There's your 1028. What was the first drop on? 1028.
1028.
Where's the other 10 point? Points out to Montana, which is
the treasure state.
Keystone RV Montana. It's a company. They created the 3400 QD line, which QD, and remember they mentioned the 174th Cyber Wing. Well, that's funny. That'd be Q4 as well. There's only a Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q5 Quasar.
There's no
Who's the
4.
Q4s? It's the ones they brought back. That's it.
Interesting.
Everybody's here. Everybody's here.
That's what Maxwell was said. He always talked. I mean, any video that I've ever seen, he kept talking about everyone's already here in 2012. Yep. He said everybody's here.
That's it.
It's really great.
And that's the thing. It's the greatest time to be alive because you have to be alive. I mean, you're biologically immortal.
And we're here for now. Like all the people who are here for a purpose. And it's not a time to be freaked out or scared. It is a time to stand up and to remember your courage and to just remember we win in the end, but not to be babies. And, like it's going to take standing up. It's going to take, remembering your power and who you are and what we're capable of. There's more of us. And I think that they try to like psych us out with all the stuff on the television and all the fear and all the beta and all the, crazy. And they just want to make it. I mean, I watched the governor, Como guy the other day. And he was just there's hardly anyone in there. And he just acted like some kind of mob guy talking about like schools shutting down tomorrow. And he was like, I don't care. And whatever. And I don't have to tell you. And
they're done.
It was so weird. It was just like, and then we know we've heard him talk about like punching Trump in the face and stuff like that. I was just like, oh my God, these guys are it's going to come down. It just makes me it frustrates me. But at the same time, we're here for such a time as this. And I think some of this is meant to get us to really see how bad it is, so
All
we
of it
can,
is.
yeah,
That's why we're in a movie.
to get us mad, so we'll actually stand up and do something and fight for our rights. Remember our rights.
Well, and the thing is, it's already been done. They already did it. We're just going through the movie phase. We did this before. Now we're just learning how to do it again. We're relearning because we're building a foundation. Because once you have these people scared enough and freaked out enough, there's your foundation.
They're already running. Dominion took off. The pants on fire, like they are like
nobody gets out of this.
In the middle of the night. They're gonna be found. I'm just saying, but
no. The Night Riders fly at night, right? They go and get them. They've been getting them. There hasn't been anybody that's been escaped. No, they know where everybody is. They're getting them. That's why there's so much air traffic. They know exactly where everybody is, and they just go and pluck them out. That's why they say it's going to be swift, clean, swift. Like there's not going to be any riots. Nope, no riots at all. What's the Sky event? If you have the 5-5, look at 5 days here and then 5 days last week of the air traffic for the military. It's been off the charts. They're like, oh, it's training this, training that. It's like, oh no. They're getting them. They're getting...
What do you foresee? We have just a few minutes left. What do you foresee in the next few days? Because I've seen some of your posts this morning. You had quite a few things that you posted, and I hope that everyone will go on his Twitter. I will post it in the link here so you guys can follow him. He posts more on Twitter than he does on Facebook, but he is on Facebook too. But what do you foresee in the next few days here?
Everything's coming down. I mean, they don't have time to teach us to overthrow a tyrannical government. They're going to go ahead and do it for us. Thank you, everybody. it's like. I mean, you can't even thank them enough. It's like the entire special force. I mean, they're just going to. They went in there and took over the Pentagon the other night, so they're done. They're done screwing around with all of them. And that's why Ezra Cohen Watnick, when he went up there and he said, that we were going to use Kennedy's vision in this, and then we walked away. It's like, yeah, well, that's what he created the special force for. That's it. I mean, and it's like everybody's just like stunned because you don't hear anything about Ezra Cohen Watnick, and it's like, well, with Flynn and all that, but he was, I mean, brilliant in the DIA. But I mean, he's so young. It's like, how does somebody like have that much?
He
and
is
then
young.
You think it's like, wait a second. I mean, it's like just insane. I mean, because remember, if everything's a lie, then your age is a lie, then dates are a lie because they cheated the calendar. I mean, you had the Julian calendar, the what was it? I mean, they've had tons of calendars. You had the Julian calendar, which is an 8-day week, and then they switched to a 7-day week, and it's like they've changed everything because we didn't know what time it was. We didn't know when the end was of the cycle. They did it to us on purpose. They thought they'd just throw it all off. That's why they had Unix epoch on January 1st, 1970 at 000000, and that's what all electronics are based off of. And then 7 years later, they started using the atomic clock, which was timed at everything's like the timestamps. Everything's timed off Unix epoch, off 1970, January 1st, 000000. That's how many seconds have passed. And then the atomic clock, they just added 7 years, which they made 1977, January 1st. It's like 77. I'm like, where did we get our extra 7 years? They just added to the atomic clock. Because the problem is that, like, it's in the Keys of Enoch, the book.
Yeah.
When you go to key 118, now remember they said, like, remember this day. And the day was January 19th, right? The problem is that when you look at the Keys of Enoch, it goes up to key 118 for the first, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where we learn what we violated. We violated the cosmic law of light and love by the misuse of atomic energy, by dropping those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, everything like that. And they even told Admiral Byrd in Inner Earth that there was no hope for mankind. I mean, they were just going to, wipe it out again and couldn't do it. I mean, we are way too important in this. We're not just human beings. We're celestial beings. We're actually the star people. Go from a carbon-based to a crystal-based body.
Yeah, so once we get our sun back.
That's a crystal sun. That's what's coming too. Remember, we're going from a y-axis to an x-axis. That's a pole shift. Release the Kraken, right? Boom. Bring it down.
I think we're going to have a whole show just on globe Earth, flat Earth, because I'm still a globe Earth.
Oh, God.
But I'm very open to be wrong. I'm totally fine. I actually did a little digging because you've encouraged so many different things for me to think about. And I started looking in scriptures, and I actually did a little post on Facebook, and some people started posting scripture. So I looked to see in the Bible where things actually said, because they were like, no, the Bible says it's a globe. Well, first of all, the Bible
doesn't say it's a globe anyways.
Exactly.
Point where that says, I mean, if you look in Genesis, it even says it's a flat earth. Explain to me firmament.
The word
firmament is a dome.
The word actually, every time it said sphere, well, someone had translated what this translation was. I don't know. I don't remember. There were several. I was like, I'm curious. So I looked it up, and every one of them that I looked at, there was a couple that said circle, but circle could be this way. And then it also, after circle or before circle, it said horizontal vault. And I was like, interesting. Now, most of them that I looked in the Hebrew Greek did not even have circle. Only one I found had circle. The rest of them were all horizontal and vault. It did get me thinking. I have to say, it did get me thinking a little bit. And then, I don't know. I think we're going to have a whole show on that, just because I would like to know for myself. I'm a little bit.
Well, I mean, is it a globe? I mean, yeah, but we're not on the ball. We're inside the ball. We're in the plane. Like when they talk about airplane, plane, it's a flat surface. That's all it is. Watch the water.
And you can do a whole show on this. We after I get some more info and do a little more digging, and I encourage all you guys to do a little bit also. But wouldn't that be fun? Would any of you guys like to have a whole show just on the opportunity of maybe we're being told this is wrong too? I mean, how many things have I had to completely dismantle that we were told from growing up? And it was just like, okay, you know what? At this point, I don't know. And I'm okay not knowing. And I'm also a good digger and researcher. Yeah, a couple people are saying yes, yes, yes. So I'm open to being wrong. I'm just going to say I don't know a lot of things anymore. But I'm definitely a researcher and look into it.
Well, the thing is, I mean, right behind here, they even said in the drops. I mean, we took the map and everything. They used Snowden as the model from flying from Hong Kong to Venezuela. Why would he stop in Russia? It's like, yeah, why would you? Well, then when you pull up like flight data, if you want to take a flight from Hong Kong to Venezuela. Notice your stops. Look at a ball Earth. Now look at a flat Earth map. Why would you be stopping in Helsinki, Finland, in Budapest, Hungary, in Madrid, Spain, on the way to Venezuela, when you could just tap into Hawaii once and then boom, right there? Makes no sense whatsoever.
These are all great things that I would love to talk about when we have a whole hour to devote to it. So I do want to say before we get off, today's Thursday. Okay, so next week I want you guys to know that we have a few things coming up that you might want to put on a calendar. We have a few fun things happening on Tuesday. Him and I are going to be on a show with Young Pharaoh. We're going to host Young Pharaoh, and they're going to talk mostly, probably I'll sit back and just watch and help administrate, but I think it's going to be a great dialogue, great discussion on a lot of different things. If you didn't watch my show with him last week, then he's an interesting character, and I like bringing all the diversities in for everybody to really be open to hear perspectives.
And that's how we have to learn. We have to learn by everybody coming together and understanding that you can't just listen to one person.
Yep.
Everybody has awareness, but you have to prove it. You have to show us where you got it, and then we can show ours, and then then we'll base everything off that. because I mean, we could both be wrong. We could both be right. You know, I mean, but that's how we have to learn as a foundation into going into up and coming, you know, dimensions. So
we have that. That'll be Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. So if you guys want to see that live with us, then this is, you know, definitely write that down. It will be recorded, but I hope to see you guys live because it's just fun. And then even funner, we're going to have Robert David Steele, the three of us together that same day at 1 o'clock, which I know Jason's really excited about that. I just had him on.
No, that's Thursday. That's Thursday, the 25th.
Oh gosh, I have to look and see now. No, it can't be the 25th.
The 25th is Wednesday. Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, I'll put the numbers up and look and see. Yes, you're right. It is the 25th because Thanksgiving is Thursday. So yes, and then we'll have to talk about if we're going to do something Thanksgiving or not because it is Thanksgiving and I forgot about that. So, but anyway, so you guys definitely go find him. I'm at swiftfire.org. I'm also on YouTube, and this will be uploaded to YouTube in a little bit, probably tomorrow, Twitter and all that. I hope you guys definitely please do get on my newsletter so we can find each other if anything happens to these platforms. We had another group of people that were bye-bye off some platforms this week. So I choose to stay, and that would be great. And thank you all for joining us and hanging out with us. Thank you, Jason. Always
Thank you.
A pleasure to chill with you. And we love you guys hanging out with us. All your vibrations, all your vibe, all your beautiful comments and encouragement to keep going. Y'all keep just being true, being love. Any final words? You always got such a pep talk at the end. I'd love to hear it.
I don't even know if I have one. I'm just listening to yours. I mean, just be patriotic. I mean, remember President Trump has a signature of every country. That means that every country falls under the U.S. Constitution. We're all human beings. We are humanity. So that means that we are all one. We're all patriots. It doesn't matter where you're from. We're all Americans. We're all patriots. That's it. I mean, you don't have to worry about hating anybody anymore. It's like we're all one. We just all came together under Trump. I mean, if that doesn't give you all the votes, I mean, don't know what does.
That's right. All right, sir. You have a great night. Get some rest.
You too.
All you guys have a good time. We'll talk soon. All right. Bye, guys. Oh, share and tag. Please do share and tag this, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.